Well,
offices?
I tell you, the very first strategy that I thought of and applied to my business career was something called force multiplication. And it
Hmm.
was a strategy that was written about by Karl von Clausewitz, who was a Prussian general, during the early 1800s. He was a contemporary of
Yeah.
Napoleon. And this is something that we learned at Fort Knox and Armor School, where I first started reading his treatise on the subject called On a War. So this is a 250-year-old book. And I remember studying that in armor school. And so when I was at Foundations Recovery Network, where I was CIO and CMO, which is a behavioral health company, we were under a lot of pressure, because we're transitioning from a yellow pages. They were spending $1 million a year on yellow pages. And I knew that was the past. The future was, digital marketing, SEO, paid search. And this is even before Facebook, but I had to figure out this transition, and force multiplication was how we accomplished that, because we were able to do one thing, like write a blog for your website, targeting
Yeah.
SEO, but I could only pay for that one thing. Well, I had to figure out how to let's start recording the interviews, and maybe that will be the basis of a podcast. Oh, and while we're doing that, let's put cameras there. Now we've got video. Let's take photos. And now we can put it on MySpace, back then. And all of a sudden, that force multiplication, which is what von Clausewitz was talking about with combined arms in the military, I applied to marketing. And all of a sudden, I became best friends with the CFO, because that also is very budget friendly, because most companies pay for these things multiple times versus like, wait a second, I'm paying for the article. I can do these other things for just a little bit of extra incremental cost. And now I've multiplied the impact across all these platforms.